Namaste everyone, welcome to Natya Vihar YouTube channel. My name is Navina Muthukrishnan and I am going to start a new series from today onwards, which is Learn Bharatanatyam with me, Navina. Let's dive into the first class of Learn Bharatanatyam with me, Navina. The first lesson that we are going to see is Guru Namaskaram. So Guru Namaskaram is nothing but a greeting or a thanking. Okay, so if you remember during the beginning of the class, what was the first thing that I told? Can you remember that? I told Namaste when I started. Namaste or good morning, good afternoon, good evening. See, these things are all greetings. So for example, you are in your school or in your college also, when a teacher comes in, what will you say? You will say good morning ma'am, good evening ma'am, right? So these things are basically greetings. So in Guru Namaskaram, we are going to do the same thing, same greeting only, but through dance. So when you are dancing, being a dancer, you can't go and individually say good morning, hello, hi to everyone. So this Guru Namaskaram is a combined way of greeting everyone who is involved in your dance performance. Okay, so through this dance performance, through this action of Guru Namaskaram, you will be thanking 4 major elements, and there are 2 more optional elements that you may thank. I will tell you about that also, but that is not going to be in our regular usage. I mean, especially for this session, you will not need those 2. So the first 4 important things will be discussed in detail, and the action is also going to be taught for that only. So the first element to whom you're going to greet or thank is Goddess Bhuma Devi. Goddess Bhuma Devi is none other than your Mother Earth, the very floor that you're stamping, right? Or dancing on. Whatever you're doing it on the floor, on Mother Earth. So this is a denotion of a representation of Goddess Bhuma Devi. Okay, so the first greeting or the first thank you you're going to say to Goddess Bhuma Devi. The second one is generally to all the other gods, especially to Lord Nataraja. So for those who do not know about this culture or tradition, so this Bharatanatyam is a dance form which originated from the Hindu culture. So there is a Hindu god called Lord Nataraja. So we will be considering Nataraja as the Lord of Bharatanatyam. So he is the one who is superior to all the Bharatanatyam dancers. He is the best Bharatanatyam dancer. You can think of him like that. Okay. So if you're interested in learning more about the history of Bharatanatyam, I will be putting my older videos link below. You can check that out. So in that I would have explained the history and all. For those who are interested, you can check it out. So coming back, so the second element is all the gods, especially Lord Nataraja. The third element is your teacher. Teacher in the sense it's not just one teacher who teaches you Bharatanatyam. It's about all the teachers who have given you so much of knowledge, right? It can be your physics teacher, chemistry teacher, Bharatanatyam teacher, music teacher, everyone. So all the gurus you are going to greet or thank as part of your Guru Namaskaram. The final or the fourth element is the audience. When I say audience, basically it is all the elders and the audience, like your parents, your relatives who are elder to you, and the audience, people who are sitting to watch you, right? Everyone comes under your fourth category. So I can also give you a little, small hint about the next 2 categories, but that is not required for you. So the other 2 elements which I told is, first one is the teacher or the guru who is handling that class for you. So this class I am handling. So basically, if you are in front of me, if you are, directly present here, you will do an additional namaskaram to me. Or if you are performing in a auditorium or a stage, you will walk up to your guru or you will walk up to the orchestra person and you will do the namaskaram to them. The next second thing is the instrument that they are having. So the guru will be having a natavangam in the hand, so you will do the namaskaram to natavangam. Apart from that, every orchestra person will have one instrument, right? You will offer your greetings and gratitude to your instruments also which are helping you dance. So this is like a complete fulfilled namaskaram for everything which is helping you dance. Okay, so that is the introduction. Before moving on to the Guru Namaskaram, there are some gestures that you would have to use in your Guru Namaskaram. For now, I will roughly tell you these things, but separately we will see all these complete gestures in detail in a different class. Okay, there is a separate class for that. For now, whatever is used for the Guru Namaskaram, let us learn that alone. Okay, so the first gesture that you are going to use in your Guru Namaskaram is Kataka Mukha. This is one of the Kataka Mukha which you keep like this. Okay, so this is the Kataka Mukha, one of the gesture that you're going to use. First gesture. So what am I doing? My thumb finger, my index finger, my second finger, everything is folded with my little finger and my ring finger opened, fully stretched. So this is my Kataka Mukha gesture. Okay, so the second gesture that we will be using in your Guru Namaskaram is the thumbs up like gesture. Okay, this one is quite famous, right, for all of you. This is the thumbs up, usual thumbs up gesture. This is called as Shikara. It's okay if you're not remembering the names for now. Just keep yourself comfortable with the gesture. Do this and see as I'm saying. The names also we can learn later on in the proper Hastas. When I'm teaching the other gestures also, you can learn the names. So for now we have seen two gestures. First one is this one. This is called Kataka Mukha. Second one is this one. This is called Shikara. So make yourself comfortable with the gestures on both the hands. Okay. The third gesture is very easy. This is your Pataka. On both the hands, you can try keeping it. Fully stiff gesture this is. Okay. So three gestures we have learned so far. What are the three? First one is Kataka Mukha. Second one is Shikara. Third one is Pataka. Okay, so the fourth one is a combined gesture. It is a very commonly used gesture in our country, which is your Anjali gesture. This is something which you use for praying, for Namaskaram and all, right? So this is your Anjali gesture. So you just combine both the hands and bring it. So if you can see very keenly, I'm pausing at three places. What are the three places? I'm pausing once above my head. I'm pausing here near my forehead. And I'm pausing near my chest. Three places I'm pausing. I'll tell you what this is for a little later, but for now, I'm pausing at three places. Have that in your mind and replicate it the same way. Okay, so yeah, majorly these are the gestures that we'll be using. So now let us move on to the action of Guru Namaskaram, how we will be doing it. So firstly, to start with the Guru Namaskaram, you would have to stand straight. Stand straight in the sense, it is not just this. So this is also standing straight only. But what I mean by standing straight, every time when I ask you to stand straight, you should have to stand erect. Like push your shoulders back and you should have a very, stiff upper part of the body. Okay, this is what I mean by standing straight. Okay, so you will stand straight with your feet together. Have your hands in Kataka Mukha. We just saw what is Kataka Mukha. I hope you remember that. So on both the hands, near the chest. So can you see this distance between the chest? Around one span of a distance you should have between the chest and the hands. So now you start stamping. So first you do a good nice stamp on the right leg and then on the left leg. Okay. So now you're going to change the gesture. So you from Kataka Mukha you go to Shikara. Push your hands in the front, fully stretched. My elbows are not bent, as you can see. So from here pull it near the shoulders. Take it onto your sides and again come back to where you started. So this is like a complete circle, right? You start from here, pull it near the shoulder, onto your side and again you're coming back. Okay, you're doing a complete circle. From the point where you started, you're coming again and you're finishing the day. Okay, so once again, what are the two things that we saw? The first part is having your hands in Kataka Mukha and two stamps, which is on your right, on your left, and then you stretch out your hand in Shikara pull it inward, onto the side, back to front. So far we have been fully standing. I am not doing anything with my position. Position in the sense I am not sitting or standing. I am not moving my position. I am just standing still. Only 2 stamps I did. I didn't do anything with my position. Now I am going to change my position. I am going to start sitting from Samam to Muzhamadi. I will tell you what these 2 things are in a very short while. In the same video I will cover it. Okay, for now just think I am going to go from standing to sitting position. So how am I going to do it? My feet are together initially. So now first thing that I do is to open my feet. Okay, see, be very focused here, because from here on you would have to start applying properly. Okay, so first thing that I do is my feet are open. After opening my feet only, I start sitting. So when I sit, I go on my toes. So only my toes are touching the floor now. Okay, so I was standing, like where I completed here. I was standing with my feet together. First thing that I'm doing is opening my feet, and then I'm starting to sit. As I start to sit, I go on my toes. Okay, now I touch the floor. Once I switch in Muzhamadi, now I touch the floor. I'm keeping it on my eyes. So if you remember the 4 elements, what were the 4 elements? First element was your Bhuma Devi. So that is what I'm starting with. Touching the floor and keeping on your eyes is the respect or greeting that you're doing to Goddess Bhuma Devi. So first touching the floor and keeping on my eyes. And obviously you can see this is Pataka. I think Pataka is the easiest gesture, so I need not explain. So you touch the floor and you keep it on your eyes. Next you are going to start your Anjali Hasta, full Anjali Hasta. You pause near the head, near the forehead, near the chest, and then again you stand. Again when you're standing, what? First thing that you do is you press down your heel and you start standing. Once you have fully stood, then your feet should close. Okay, so this is a very important concept. I want you to remember it always, because in multiple places we will use the same thing. Like sitting and standing is a very common and a very frequently used thing. So you should know the exact pattern to do that. So first thing, open your feet. Whenever I ask you to sit from a standing position, you open your feet first. Then you start reducing your height. That is, you start sitting. Okay, this should be the pattern. Similarly, when it's vice versa, when you're sitting and I'm asking you to stand, the first thing that you do is to press down the heel, because you would have sat in your toes, sat on your toes, right? So the first thing that you do is to press down your heel, and then you stand. As you stand and you're completely in the standing position, then you close your feet back. Okay, so this one you may pause the video now and you can practice some 3 to 4 times, and then you can resume with the video. So this is it. Your Guru Namaskaram is completed. So as I told, this is the general Guru Namaskaram that you can do anytime, like during your practice, during your even during this class also. Before you start with our classes, you can do this. So the remaining 2 elements are not necessary, because you are not directly present next to a Guru. If you are directly present next to a Guru, then you would have to do the other 2 things, which is not relevant in our aspect, so I am leaving it. So in case if you want to learn that also, you can mention in the comment. If you are interested, I can add it. It's not a very big deal. Since it's not required, I am leaving it. Okay. So this is the Guru Namaskaram. So let us do the entire Guru Namaskaram once again. What is the first thing? First thing is to have your hands in Kataka Mukha. So you should pay a lot of importance to how I am keeping my hand. Okay? So your elbows should not drop like this. See if your elbows are dropped like this. If it's dropped, you have to pull it up. It should be in the shoulder level, nicely in the shoulder level. And the second thing, as I told, there should be 1 span distance between your chest and the gestures that you have near the chest. This is always, this is not just for Guru Namaskaram. Whenever I ask you to keep your hand near the chest, you have to maintain this elbow also raised, and your hand should be in 1 span distance from the chest. Okay, so having your hands like this, now what will you do? The first thing that I told you, I hope I'm visible now. The first thing that I told you was to stamp your right leg, followed by your left leg, and then you push your hands in Shikara outside. One full pull to the side and back to front, and then you start sitting down. Sit down, touch the floor with hands in Pataka. Keep it on your eyes. This is for your Bhuma Devi. And then I told you to do the Anjali Hasta. Right? What is the Anjali Hasta? We did pause above the head, near the forehead, and near the chest. So let me tell you the pause, like why we are pausing, right? I didn't tell you it. So the first pause that we are doing is above the head, which is for the god. Okay, the god in the sense Lord Nachacha or any other favorite gods, whatever you want to, wish or greet. You will just close your eyes for a moment and think of the god and think that you're greeting or thanking him or her. And then when your hand comes near the forehead, you should have to think of all your gurus, all your teachers. And when the hand comes near the chest, you should think of all the elders and audience. And then you stand back to up. So alright, let us do the complete Guru Namaskaram once again. So stand straight with your hands in Kataka Mukha near the chest. Stamp your right leg, left leg. Bring your hands to the front. Pull onto the side. Again to the front. Sit in Murumandi. Touch the floor. Keep it on your eyes. Take your hands above your head. Close your eyes. Thank the God. Near the forehead, close your eyes, thank your gurus. Near the chest, close your eyes and thank the elders and audience. And then you stand back and finally you close your feet. So the second lesson that we are going to see in today's class is the postures. So what are postures or positions? So these are generally the levels of height. You can think it as levels of height that are going to be used in Bharatanatyam. Okay, so in your Guru Namaskaram itself, there were two positions or two postures that were used. One was the standing position and the other one was the fully seated position. So apart from these two, there is one more, which is your Aramandi position, half seated position. So whatever thing that you see in Bharatanatyam, right, you can classify each and every movement under any of these three categories. So that is why these are, very much vital. If you are comfortable with these three postures only, you can dance itself. Okay, that's kind of very important three postures. So we will see them one by one. And I will also teach you an exercise so that you get more, proficient with these movements. So before moving on to the postures, few of you would be completely new for dancing. For them, I'm saying. So there is a video on my channel wherein I would have told you how to tie this shawl. So if you don't know how to tie this, please do watch that and start tying the shawl when you dance. It's very important that you tie the shawl when you're dancing. Okay, so it should be really, really tight, and the entire procedure I have explained in that. I can share that also in the description if you want. Okay, and coming to a uniform, what dress to wear? You can wear any chudidar with a slit like this, right? It's better you have a slit on your top, and your pants can be like a wider pants. This is not actually very comfortable, but you may try to have a better one. Okay, I can show you in the next session. I will wear a better, pants that you can copy. So you can see it's like a wide patiala pant. You would have seen it in many places. You can just search in Google also patiala pant or this palazzo type of pants. Those things you can comfortably wear. Okay, so do not dance without tying the shawl. Okay, if you know how to tie it, please do tie it. If not, you can watch the video and learn and tie it. Okay, fine. So now we can move on to the second lesson, which is the posture. So as I mentioned, there are three postures. The first posture is your samam. So this is samam. So I just told you in your Guru Namaskaram also, this is a basic, simple, standing position. Okay, so now coming to the mistakes that you would make. The first mistake that all my students make is to stand like this, saying that this is straight. My back is straight only now also. It is straight only. I agree it's straight. So this is hunching. This is straight. And this is what I mean by straight. So my straight is always this. So your elbows should be nicely to the back, your shoulders should be nicely stretched, and you should have a very stiff upper part of the body. This region should be very, very stiff. So you have to do that, okay? It should be very, very stiff and strong. This is what I mean by standing straight. And you should be standing straight for your summum. Lower part of the body is very simple. That should be just normal feet together and standing. My knees are not bent. My knees are not bent, as you can see. It's a fully standing position. Okay, this is your summum. The second position is very, very important. This is like maximum used in your Bharatanatyam. Like we often do most of our adults also in this only, which is called as Aramandi. Okay, Aramandi, as the name goes, Aramandi. Mandi means to sit. Okay, this is a Tamil word. Mandi means to sit. Aramandi means half seated position. So half sitting, how we can sit up like this? This is a half sitting only, right? You can sit like this, but it accordingly, varies where you are using. This movement is also there. This is also a application of your Aramandi only. Okay, but the basic Aramandi that you should be comfortable with is your feet opened half sitting. So how will you open your feet? So from here, you first open your feet nicely, how much ever possible, and then you split. So now your knees are bent and you are still remaining straight only. So the upper part of the body remains straight only. I hope you're enjoying my tutorial. My Navaratri wishes to all of you. May the goddess bless all of us with good health and prosperity. If you're looking to learn Bharatanatyam beyond this one tutorial, you can join me for my personal regular Bharatanatyam classes. The batches begin from the Vijayadashami day, which is the 2nd October 2025. I have given the link in the description for the website. You can check that out for more details if interested. Okay, this is your Aramandi posture. So the third posture is your Mulu Mandi. Mulu means full. Okay, Mulu Mandi is a fully seated posture. So here you are going to be, again you will be widely opening your feet first. But when you're sitting, you would have to sit on your toes only. Okay, your Aramandi was completely flat. Both your feet were completely flat on the floor, touching the floor. But now only your toes have to touch the floor, and your body remains same. Your upper part of the body remains same, stiff and straight. Okay. So I would like to have you introduced to one another posture, which is called Natyarambam. This is a hand posture. So whatever we did now was a leg posture, right? Yeah, whatever we did now was changing in leg only. So now there is a hand posture called as Natyarambam. So I can't say whatever you do in dance is in Natyarambam only. I can say that whatever you do in Bharatanatyam belongs to any one of these three leg postures only. The same thing is not applicable for the hand. This hand posture is like, most frequently used, you can say, or if you are comfortable doing this, then you will be able to do any hand gesture, hand movement, basically. Okay, this is more like, knowing your strength. So this hand posture is going to be in Pataka. You have already learned Pataka in your Guru Namaskaram, right? So this is your hand posture called as Natyarambam. So as you can see how much I have bent on both the sides, right? It's not this, it is this. So at my elbow, I am curving inward. Okay, so do not curve too much. So let me exactly try to show you how much I have bent. See, this tip is straight, this one is straight. So if I'm fully stretching my hand, it's going to be fully straight. So if you take this as the vertical line pointing towards you, which is front, I am not doing this also. This is fully vertical, not this also. I am going somewhere in between both. So this is my horizontal straight line. This is my vertical straight line. I am going in between. Okay? So what is the common mistake here? There are so many varieties of mistakes that you would do. Okay? The first one is that while you are curving it inside, you tend to drop your elbow. Dropping is this upward, downward dropping. The curve has to be only inward. This is outward, this is inward. This is downward, this is upward. You got the difference? See, if I'm fully stretching, this is what? This is outward. Both my palms are going towards the outside. This is outward. So this is what? This is inward. My palm is coming towards my body. This is my center of the body. My palm is going outside now. This is outward. I'm curving it inward. My palm is coming towards my body. It's not that it's coming near my body, but it's towards my body. So I'm curving inward. Right? This is downward. I'm dropping my elbow down. This is down. My elbow is dropped down. I do not want this. I want you to lift the elbow. This is upward. So whenever I ask you to lift your elbow, okay, when I ask you to lift your elbow, what you should do, your elbows are down. It means your elbows are going down. I want you to raise it upward. Okay, that is the most common mistake. And one more thing that you might do is that when you're trying to curve it inward, you may try to hunch also. Okay, you should not bring it like this. Your back should be straight, your upper part of the body will be straight, only your hands should be curved. Okay, so as you can see, this is your Natya Rambam. Okay. And alright, I told you I will give you an exercise for practicing. The exercise is nothing but you have your hands in Natya Rambam and you start sitting from Samam to Mujumandi for 8 counts, and then from Mujumandi to Samam back for 8 counts. Something like this. Sit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can also give you the count. So you can do it along with me now. Have your hands in Natya Rambam. Start sitting. Sit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that is it for today's class. So as I mentioned, this is the first video of our class, day 1. So we will finish the class, and when we are finishing the class, we have to do the Guru Namaskaram. So how will we do the Guru Namaskaram? Have your hands in Kataka Mukha near the chest. Stamp your right leg, then the left leg. Bring your hands to the front in Shikara. Pull it inward. Take it to the side. Again bring it back. Touch the floor. Sit in Mujumandi. Touch the floor. Keep it on your eyes. Take your hands above the head. Close your eyes. Thank the God. Near the forehead, close your eyes. Thank your teacher. Near the chest, close your eyes. Thank your audience. And you get up. So I hope you will continue practicing. We'll see in the next class. Until then, keep practicing, keep supporting my videos so that I'll come up with more such videos.